Hi friends, it's Grace and welcome back to another video. Today I just thought that I would do a quick book haul because my birthday just passed and some of these books were gifts and some of them were just me not having a sense of self-control, but I thought that this would be a great occasion to talk about some more books that I've acquired recently and I wanted to tell you about them. So one of the books that I did get as a gift from a friend is Verity by Colleen Hoover, and of course I haven't been living under a rock, so I've heard a lot about Colleen Hoover's books in recent months, and I don't personally have TikTok, but that still doesn't stop me from hearing about what a sensation her books are on multiple platforms. And Verity is the one out of all of them that does appeal to me the most, because I've heard from people that, well, this is her only thriller as far as I know, but I've heard from people that this is actually quite disturbing, and to me that sounds appealing because it sounds like she probably doesn't shy away from what she's going for in this book. And Verity is about a writer who is invited to finish some manuscripts from a famous writer who can no longer finish her own work, but she discovers some stuff in personal autobiographical materials from this author that uncover some horrifying truths about her and her family, and it does sound very interesting. So I'm excited to get to this one, and I will see kind of how I feel about continuing on with Colleen Hoover after I do read this one. So next up, and this was also a gift, is Looking for Jane by Heather Marshall. And this one is, I want to call it historical fiction, but we do also follow a timeline that is set in 2017. So this book, Looking for Jane, the title references the fact that there is an underground network of basically pro-choice and abortion clinics and healthcare providers that will provide illegal abortions. And this entire network is known as Jane. So we follow the lives of 3 women in this book. One of them is a doctor. I believe one of them is an expectant mother who needs to get an abortion. I can't remember who exactly the 3 women are, but this ties together multiple timelines, and it also ties together the lives of 3 women, and it sounds like a really, really interesting read on its own, but then it also sounds like a really relevant read for right now and women's reproductive health and reproductive rights. So I am actually really, really looking forward to this one, and I had never heard of it. It wasn't something that I would choose for myself based on just looking at it on the shelf, but opening it up and hearing what it's about, I think that it sounds fantastic, so I'm really looking forward to it. So next up, this is a book that I bought myself, and that is Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis, and this is about our main character Elizabeth, who is a chemist in the early 1960s, and I've forgotten the name. Okay, so it's the Hastings Research Institute, which, to be honest, I don't know whether that's a real thing or not, but our main character Elizabeth works with an all-male team here, and they don't have very generous ideas about women in science, except for one person who she ends up kind of in a romance with, but this book definitely is not a romance because our main character ends up as a single mother, and she actually ends up as the star of a cooking show with her own flair as a chemist, and she ends up, it seems leading a social movement to encourage women to reject the status quo and to take their rights into their own hands, and really encouraging them to live independent lives. So when I first saw this, I thought that it was a romance, but after reading the description, it did sound amazing, and so I saw it on sale and I picked it up right away because I thought that it was really, really cool as a woman scientist, and now I even work in chemistry, which I didn't before. Yeah, I'm really, really interested. So, Lessons in Chemistry. Then next up, we have a book that I ordered and kind of bought myself for my birthday as like an impromptu present, and I don't have it yet, but I wanted to include it in this haul. It was actually supposed to come today, but I have no idea when my next book haul will be, probably not until like my trip to the UK. So I wanted to include this, and it is called They Drown Our Daughters by Katrina Monroe, and first of all, it has a gorgeous cover, which did influence me, like I'll admit that. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous book, but it's basically about this family and a few generations of women in this family that can hear the call of the water somehow. Like they live in this place, their family is from this cape that is meant to be haunted, and I do think that this book has like a siren song, like almost mermaid theme, but it's also kind of atmospheric haunted house vibes. Not haunted house, like haunted water, and it all sounds very intriguing and appealing. And it's interesting because I get like ghost story vibes from this, and I get like siren vibes from this, but it does seem like it's just gonna be like an atmospheric family drama. And I don't really know what it is that appealed to me so much about the description of this book, but it does sound really good, and I'm excited to get it when it does get here, which should be today or tomorrow. Next up, we have Unravel the Dusk by Elizabeth Lim, which I really couldn't tell you what this one is about as a sequel because I haven't read Spin the Dawn yet, but since I saw this on sale for a great deal, I thought that I would pick it up since I do have Spin the Dawn, and then these are both pretty like short books, and I could maybe just fly through this duology at some point because it does seem really fun. And I do think that both of the covers in this series are absolutely gorgeous, so I do love to have them on my shelves. Next up, I picked up The Paper Menagerie by Ken Liu, and first of all, I do need to read The Grace of Kings at some point and start The Dandelion Dynasty by him. But I've also just heard phenomenal things about The Paper Menagerie, and it's like Ken Liu is just doing everything so well, like whether it's short stories or whether it's like an epic fantasy quartet. I believe that The Dandelion Dynasty has 4 books, but I just like, I don't know, I saw this for a good deal too, and I couldn't pass it up, and I don't know which one I'm gonna read first. If you have any recommendations on that, do let me know in the comments. I don't know whether the better approach would be to try this out, see how I feel about Ken Liu and his writing before I try The Grace of Kings, or whether like, I know everybody's loving Grace of Kings and The Dandelion Dynasty so much that you may just want me to hop right into that one. But regardless, I couldn't resist getting this. Next up, we have The Coward by Stephen Aryan, and this is a story about a sort of washed up hero, or not washed up, but almost like a retired hero chosen one type character, where when this character was very young, he basically was this chosen one type. He led forces against evil and he won, and now he lives like a quiet farmer's life, and something is brewing again. And so of course the world wants to turn to him for help and to fight against evil once again. But this main character, Kel's secret is that he didn't actually do anything the first time around. He got lucky, is what it says in the blurb, and he is actually just a coward, and that is how he refers to himself. So I also think that this cover is gorgeous. I've heard great things about this book from so many people on BookTube, and once again, this was like a good deal where I couldn't pass up getting this book because it has been on my radar for quite a while now, and I have no idea when I'm gonna get to it, but I do love the idea of this story taking place after that first round of heroism from a character, and now to sort of explore their like dark secrets from the first time around, and to like see how their life develops from there, and to see what happens the second time around. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. And then last but not least, we have Once There Were Wolves by Charlotte McConaughey. And if you've been around the channel for a little bit, you may have heard that this is one of my favorite books of 2022. But I listened to it on audiobook on my library app the first time around. But I did love it enough that I really wanted to get myself a physical copy of it. It's just that, as like I'm sure you're all familiar with, hardcover books are quite expensive, and the paperback for this one has a different cover in a lot of editions. So I didn't want the paperback, and I was kind of just waiting and waiting to see if I would have an opportunity to get the hardback at a better price, and when I did see it, I jumped straight on it. So this is one that I see myself rereading. I adored this book. I thought that it was so well done. This is like a mystery thriller about nature, but it's also about like human nature, and it's very delicate with emotions, and it's phenomenal. So if you are at all interested in Charlotte McConaughey, I'm going to read Migrations by her soon, but if you have read Migrations and loved it, then definitely pick up her other book. And yeah, I can't say enough good things about this, which is why I chose to buy it for myself. So that is it for my little birthday book haul, and like I said, I am taking a trip across the pond in August to the UK to visit Ben, and I guarantee you that there will be many a book bought during that trip. I'm saving my money for that so that I can explore lots of cool bookstores in England and bring lots of stuff home. So yeah, that is it for this one. Let me know down in the comments what you think about these books, and I hope you liked this video. Please like if you did like it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me. I post new videos every Monday and Thursday, and as always, I will have my Discord, Patreon, and socials linked in the description if you're interested in any of that. And with that said, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye!